friends. So I wanted to come on here and say that if you're in a relationship or if you're dating somebody or whatever your situation is, and that person shares something about you that they may not like, it's okay to want to change that thing about yourself for this person. Granted, of course, this person, it should be something that, you know, obviously may not change like maybe you don't want to change like your core values, and yes, cool, like I can respect that. But I think if it's little habits here and there or something that ultimately, you know, deep down isn't serving you well, it's okay to change it. It's okay to change it for this person that you may be in love with, because ultimately you're changing it for yourself. You're bettering yourself. Just because this person was the one to bring it up to you, it was the one to shed light on something negative about you, doesn't mean that you should resist the change. You know, a lot of us, like, nobody likes to hear all of the bad things. Nobody likes to hear the bad things about themselves, like myself included. I can't stand hearing the negative things about myself. I can't stand hearing the negative things about my personality, but you know what? Sometimes it just needs to be said, and ultimately whoever is telling you this is only telling you this because they probably love and care about you enough to hope that you change those negative parts of yourself. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to change a little habit that you may have for your boyfriend or girlfriend. I don't, if anything, I think it's kind of healthy. It's healthy to be able to accept the negative that's within yourself, like be aware of it, accept it, and then change it, move forward. It's just going to improve your life. Nowadays, like, feminism, accept yourself and love yourself in every way, shape, or form that you are. And yeah, I think you need to accept yourself. I think you need to love yourself, but that doesn't mean that you can't change anything about yourself. That doesn't mean that yourself now can't evolve into a better self. It doesn't mean that you have to stay complacent just because you accept yourself. Accepting yourself is a lot more than just saying, okay, this is the way I am. Like, I think if you truly love yourself and if you truly respect yourself and you're going to accept yourself in all forms, but then move forward, but then change the things that you may not like about yourself, change the things that, maybe there's a couple of critiques about yourself that you've heard from several different people. Maybe they're onto something. It's hard to think that you're the issue, but sometimes you might be. Like, a lot of times, like, I'm the issue. Like, for example, I can't stand this about myself, but I tend to have a bad attitude when I'm called out on something. And I'm working on it. It's really hard to, but I'm working on it. And you may have the same issue, and that's okay, but I don't think it's okay to just stay stagnant. It's okay that you have this issue, but then move forward. Anyways, it's okay to change certain parts of yourself. Ultimately, I think it's going to be for the better. But also, just because there might be something that you don't like about yourself, that doesn't mean that there's nothing good about you. There's something good in everybody. Even like I have to give myself pep talks and remind myself of all of the good things that are within me, all of the good things that I show to the world, to my loved ones. I have to remind myself that constantly, and that's okay. It's okay to remind yourself, to have to remind yourself. So even sometimes I get kind of sad that I have to remind myself that, like, hey, I'm not as terrible of a person as I feel like sometimes. So it's okay, wherever you're at in your life, in your journey, your feelings are valid. It's okay to feel however you may feel, but it's not okay to be mad at everybody else for your feelings. And that's where I think acceptance comes in, and that's really hard to do with certain topics, I know. Yeah, sometimes it's just really hard to do. Acceptance is kind of like you have to go through the stages of grief, but in different ways throughout your life. But that can be a whole long video in itself, stages of grief. So yes, accept yourself, love yourself, but it's okay to change. TTFN.